What is up? Okay, so we are, I kind of feel like I always say this, but this is for real. This is gonna be a quick episode because it's like very straight to the point, and these are things that I want you to be recognizing in your day-to-day life and like get clued in on and be like, ooh, ding, 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 I'm moving in the right direction. Or like, oh, okay, what I'm doing is definitely not working because sometimes like as you are working on whether you're working on regulating your period or ovulating again or getting pregnant or rebalancing postpartum preparing for your next baby, like sometimes we're like, okay, I'll know that it's working once I get pregnant or once I get my period back or whatever. And like, yes, of course, but that's the end goal, right? Like that's the end of the, not the end of the journey because there's so much comes after it, but you know what I mean? Like that's like the final destination for the sake of this analogy or this like conversation. There are so many different things that are going to happen on your way to that, like to the pregnancy, to getting your period back, to all these things that like physical signs that your body is going to be giving you to let you know, like, okay, hey, you're on the right path. Like you're walking, you're on that yellow brick road. Like we're going in the right direction. Keep on moving. And that is what you need to be aware of because for two reasons. Number one, because when you do start noticing these signs that we're going to talk about, to know that like your body is ready for a healthy pregnancy, you're going to feel like so confident and it's going to give you that momentum to keep going. You're going to be like, oh shit, yes, like, okay, I've got this. Like, I'm noticing this change. I'm noticing that. Okay, what I'm doing is obviously working and it's getting me closer and closer and closer to being ready for that healthy pregnancy and then to getting pregnant or getting your period back or whatever, right? Whatever your situation is. And so that's like the one piece of why it's really important to know this. The second piece is if you're not noticing these things and you're like, Corinne, I feel like I'm doing everything. Like I'm doing the teas, I'm doing the CoQ10, I'm putting my legs up the wall after fucking having sex, I'm doing the lubes, I'm doing the Nutritionist, whatever, like whatever you're doing. And you're like, you're eating quote unquote healthy, but you're not noticing these changes. That's letting you know, okay, let's stop wasting our time with whatever it is that you are doing, even if it's not one of the things I listed. And let's refocus because clearly the things that you're currently doing, if you're not experiencing these symptoms, like these physical signs, it's not working, right? So this is why it's really important to get into this. So signs that your body will give you. By the way, I'm on my walking pad, so if I'm a little out of breath, that's what's popping off, okay? But signs that your body is ready for a healthy pregnancy and that your fertility is actively improving. And you should notice these signs like if what you're doing is targeted and it is healing the root cause of the problem, you should notice changes like this starting to happening within a couple weeks to a couple months of you starting to make changes. That short period of time. Like it should not take 3, 4, 5 months for you to see any changes. Like then what you're doing is not working. And I say a couple weeks to a couple months, and that's kind of a broad range, but it's because it depends on where you're starting from, right? Depends. Like some people are starting from a place where like they are in a really good situation. They have a really healthy environment. They've already maybe made some change and there's just like tiny tweaks that are going to really like set them off and running and it's going to happen rather quickly. Some other people, if like you're not in a really healthy environment, even like, I mean, like toxicity wise with like, like a unhealthy relationship, or if you have a lot of different stress going on in your life, if you're navigating something really hard, like grief or whatever, like there's different external circumstances that is going to impact the rate at which you're going to be able to heal, right? So it just like, it does depend on those things. It's not just like, it's going to take this amount of weeks if you do this. It's like everyone is starting from a different point and everyone has different external factors that are influencing how quickly your body is healing. But your body is designed to heal, right? So like that's another thing, like getting rid of or working on those different pieces that could be impacting you. Obviously the ones that you can are obviously going to help the healing process. That's another conversation. So anyway, stay on track. Let's stay on track. The signs that your body is ready for healthy pregnancy. You're pooping better, right? You're pooping at least once a day, bare ass minimum. I really want you pooping at least twice a day, okay? And not just pooping. Like it has to be a specific type of poop. Like you want a nice banana shape. Ideally you want like a nice form. It's not floating. It's not like the hard balls. It doesn't feel hard to poop. It feels complete after you poop. It feels like you got everything out. You didn't have to strain. It wasn't like diarrhea or too soft. Like that's the type of poop we're looking for. ideally within the first hour or two max of you waking up, and then again like later in the afternoon, okay, twice a day. Better sleep. You're not waking up as many times in the middle of the night. You're falling asleep more quickly. You're waking up more energized. Like you don't feel like you're tossing and turning. You have better moods. You don't feel like a bitch on wheels. You're just like, you are more uplifted. It's easier for you to just feel better and have like better energy, like mood energy wise, like vibrational energy. Your skin is better. Your skin is more glowy. Or if you had any acne or pimples, those are going away. Your energy, like your physical energy is better. Like you are literally like, you have more energy without caffeine. That is a huge sign that your body is ready for a healthy pregnancy, that your fertility is improving. Your libido's popping off. You're like, ooh, all of a sudden I feel like I actually want to have sex, like especially around ovulation, which this one could be very emotional and stuff too, especially if you've been trying to conceive for a long time. This one might not pop up right away for you because it's like become like a chore. And there's also a lot of emotional things tied in that, but I had to put it in here because this definitely could be a sign as well. If you had headaches, they are reducing and then going away. You actually feel satiated after meals. You're like, wow, I ate and I'm not hungry an hour later or 2 hours later. And, you aren't like starving between meals. You don't have cravings after meals. You're not like immediately needing something sugary or something like, like a chip or pretzel or fry or whatever after. You don't have those cravings as much after meals. You have like either less PMS. If you have a lot of PMS right now, your PMS is going away and then it's like totally gone. If you were spotting before your period, some of my clients come to me and they're spotting like 7 days before the period. Some are spotting just 3 days, like whatever amount of days it is, it's lessening and lessening and lessening. And then eventually you don't have any spotting before. Your period is regulating out, right? Like if it was irregular, it's starting to come like clockwork. You're noticing that it's coming every between like 25 and 35 days without too much like variation between that. And the only reason why you know it's coming is because you're tracking it with your basal body temperature, with temp drop. That's my favorite one. Not because you're like, oh, my boobs are sore or I'm PMSing or I've cramps. Like, no, none of that. Like those things do not exist when your body is ready for healthy pregnancy. Okay. You have an 11 to 14 day luteal phase. And if your luteal phase was like 9, 10, 8, 9, 10 days, you're noticing it gradually increase. Oh, it was like 11 days. Like, oh, then it was 12. Oh, like these are signs you're moving in the right direction. Again, you have no cramps whatsoever. You don't have clots bigger than 1 inch. Your boobs aren't sore anymore before your period. You have healthy cervical mucus. Like you're slipping and sliding when it's ovulation. Like, you know the vibe. Okay. If you know, stretchy, clear, egg white consistency. Some people experience it as watery, like that shit is there and it's healthy. Your basal body temperature numbers are really strong in your luteal phase. Like all of these things are signs that you are moving in the right direction. And all of these things are going to happen before you get that positive pregnancy test. Okay. And if you're making changes to your health that are actually improving your fertility, you are going to notice these things within weeks to a couple of months of you making the changes. I've had so many examples of this with my clients that will message me about it. Like literally some of these things happen within 2 weeks with some of them, especially like when they're really nailing down their blood sugar regulation. Some people are out here trying all these teas and lubes, like I said before, the Mucinex, progesterone cream, Vitex, putting their legs up the wall for months on end, and they're not seeing any other improvements in their like physical life, and it's not doing shit. So it's like you feel like, you're doing the most, but you're not doing things that actually work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we really want to be focused on healing the root cause of the problem, working on the systems in your body that actually affect all of your hormones, simple strategies that you can stay consistent with, which is so key. The consistency is key. I always say my clients see success because I give them literally step-by-step exactly what to do, but then they full ass it. They're consistent and they full ass it. That doesn't mean you have to be perfect. Don't get it twisted. But like this is all the things you should be noticing. So right now, if you're listening to this and you're like, oh my God, yes, I'm noticing these things. Like, you might not see all of them yet, depending on how long you've maybe been making changes, but you're like, okay, I have noticed these things are improving. And so there's a few different things. Like number one, if you have like recently started making changes and you're noticing these things, okay, yes, what you're doing is working, keep going. If you're listening to this and you're like, okay, I've been doing a lot of shit, but I haven't noticed anything like this. Okay, we need to course correct. We need to get inside the mind your hormones method. We'll talk about that in a second. if you are like, okay, I started noticing these changes and I definitely had some improvements, but now you're kind of at like a lull. You're like, I haven't seen any other improvements. Like we're kind of like a standstill right now. Then there's also some deeper layers that need to be addressed that maybe what you started doing was awesome. Okay, great. We started moving in the right direction, but now we're kind of missing the mark a little bit. Okay, so those are like the 3 different camps you could be in. Number 1, obviously, I highly recommend the Mind Your Hormones method. I'll put that in the show notes, step by step, exactly what to do. You already know the vibes. You've listened to this podcast for a hot second. You can use code podcast for 10% off. If you just want to get like your toe dipped in, highly recommend the free training, how to create hormone and blood sugar balanced meals. This is going to teach you how to set up your morning, how to set up your breakfast, really, and making sure that that is blood sugar regulated, because that is going to set the tone for the rest of your day. And this has to be in place. If you don't already know how to do this and you're not really nailing this, it's going to be really hard for your fertility to improve and for your body to be strong enough for a healthy pregnancy. So that's totally free. We'll put that in the show notes too. And I also have my free Trying to Conceive masterclass, where I talk about like the major root causes of all fertility issues, the mistakes I see most people making who are trying to conceive, and 5 things you could do immediately. One of them being that other free training I talked about to really improve your fertility. So like if you're making changes and you're not noticing anything, like dive into those free resources, and then end game, obviously, for sure, get inside the Mind Your Hormones method, because I promise you, or even balance your blood sugar, like I promise you, you will see changes. Like you will notice changes when you're doing these things, because the human body is a human body. Your body is designed to heal. It just needs to get what it actually needs to get. And that's exactly what I teach you. So again, highly recommend that. But you could for sure get started with these other free resources, and obviously the podcast as well. But I hope this episode makes you feel like, okay, amazing. Like I am moving in the right direction. Then keep going. Like let this be motivation. Feel like, okay, it's working. Let's go. Or it could be a little like, okay, all right, what I'm doing is working. And I don't want it to feel like, fuck, what I'm doing isn't working. Like this sucks. I want it to be more empowering, obviously, because it's like, well, you thought that you were doing all the things. You're like, I'm doing all the things and nothing is working. It's like, okay, so we now know that it's not just taking forever. It's not just you, like it's that we're just not hitting the areas we need to hit on. And once you do, you're gonna see change, right? So it's like it's simple, cut and draw like that. If you're not seeing these changes, then we just have to course correct. You're not the problem. Your strategy is the problem. But your body isn't broken. Your strategy is. But the way that you are coming at this is the issue, not you, right? So you've got this. Your body is designed to heal, and this is exactly what your body is going to show you when you're ready for a strong and healthy pregnancy. And if you're like hitting all these, and especially if you're preparing for pregnancy, like look out for this stuff. And if you're like, okay, a lot of these things are on point, but some of them aren't. Okay, well, let's like figure that out before you even start trying, so then you don't have to try for months and years on end. You know what I'm saying? So look at this. We kept under 15 minutes. We stayed on track. We did it. I wanted this to be a short episode for you. Cut and dry, right to the point. You know how we roll. I'll put all those free resources in the show notes for you. Look out for these signs. Everybody is going to experience them in a different time frame, and also everyone's going to experience different ones first. And it's not like in the chronological order I said it. You know, like you could experience something I said at the end before something I said at the beginning. Like it wasn't in order, okay? But this is how you know your body is ready for healthy pregnancy. Keep your eyes peeled for this. And I love you. Thank you so much, as always. And I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for being here. If you loved this episode and learned something valuable, please share it with a friend who you think would also love it, or post it on social media and tag me so I could personally say thank you for helping me spread this important message. I am beyond grateful to be here with you. So until next time, stay intentional, stay consistent, and always mind your hormones.